Hey Flosstube, this is Tara with Wilder Woman Crafts, back at it again. I am alive, barely. I had to swing by and get a pumpkin cream cold brew because right now caffeine is like all that's tethering me to reality. I have so much to share. I have so much to share. I once again have like a heinous amount of haul, but welcome to Flosstube. This might be very disjointed, and I will start off with telling you why it might be very disjointed. So following my last Flosstube, which I filmed right at the end of August, I traveled to Texas to celebrate my birthday, and I was there about a week. I came back on a Tuesday. That following Sunday, I flew to Portland from Atlanta and stayed through Thursday, came back, and then did that 2 more times. So I only had like Friday and Saturday in Atlanta, and then I would fly back to Portland. And that time zone was a doozy. It was a doozy. And I was out there for work, and I guess they didn't want to pay for us to stay over the weekend. Obviously, I mean, it's nice to come home even for that short amount of time, but I mean, it has taken its toll. So today is Friday. Last night I flew back from Portland again for the last time, thankfully. And then I have this whole week here, and I have another trip for a conference, but luckily that one's only in Central Time. We don't have to go all the way Pacific. But that partially explains just like the amount of items sitting around me right now. You don't need to know. I mean, you will know eventually, but you don't need to see it. You don't need to see it. But I got to visit 2 in-person needlework stores. So I got to go to the Golden Needle in San Marcos, Texas, which we'll get to. And then I got to go to Acorns and Threads, just like I had hoped. But without getting, and I have Stitchy kindness, just so much. And I think, you know, this time of year, the sort of events and, you know, challenges and everything just kind of ramps up so much. So let's just get into it. So I do not have any finishes. It, you know, obviously kind of with the back and forth, the stitching took a hit. I learned that I am not very good. If there's someone sitting immediately next to me, if there's like a middle seat on the plane, I don't really think cross stitching is the plane craft for me. So I'll show you some knitting that I did on the plane, but did not really get anything finished. So I did have 3 starts though, which I talked about last time. So first up is the hands-on design costume party, which is living in my 805 stitcher bag. Which it's funny, I could have absolutely just finished this today because I would have finished this on my last trip, except for I ran out of 2 colors, but I decided that, as we'll talk about later, I'm going to use it for 13 Stitches of Halloween, so I kind of want to save it. I can have a finish for that. But this is as far as I got. So I'm really close. You can see I ran out of the white on this little banner here, and then I'm basically just missing this dark gray. So there's like a little bat, and then just kind of some letter fill in, and this adorable Oh Hex needle minder is from D and Kari last year, their Halloween release. But this is stitched on the called for fabric, which is Silver Mist by Fabrics by Stephanie, and I am stitching on a 32 count linen. I love the way this pattern came out. I cannot believe how many stitches are in this little pattern, but the little jar of eyeballs, the little skull, the bats, the little garland under the table. Oh, just amazing how much got crammed in this design. So this should definitely be a finish next time we see it. If it will be finished on the board, that's another story. Because I was thinking, I was like, ooh, now that I'm in the Flosstube game, I really got to get some finishing done so I can have some things behind me, but there's nothing to go behind me yet. Ugh, just wonderful. And just such a nice size to stitch while on the go, am I right? So that was my first start, nearly finished. My second start, which also is a stitch along, and the first part released on September 1st, and I did get to start both of them on September 1st. I was very proud, living in a Amazon bag, is my Autumn Lane Stitchery Dark Queen of the Earth. And I didn't get to stitch with this yet, but I did get my needle minder that I ordered in. Let me see. Yeah, you can see. Super fun. So there was 3 needle minder choices, and mine is, I believe, the life one. It took me a while to kind of understand the art, but this is like a face, and the tree is kind of like her hair coming up behind her. Very cool. So I am stitching again on the called for. This is Under the Sea Fabrics in Nightshade, and it is a 32 count linen. So yeah, very excited about the needle minder. This is such an interesting like metal. It's kind of different from any other needle minder that I have, but I haven't really used it yet. It's just attached, ready for the new drop tomorrow, but I did manage to stay caught up through my travels, and I was excited that we got to start with the sparkly. This is a silk lame, so that was my first time stitching with that. Very fun. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of ripping through at the beginning, but I know the time will, we have a lot to go. We're fine on time. All right, the third start is my Heaven and Earth design. So this does not have really much on it at all, but right now it's living in a Black Needle Society Polar Express bag, even though as you can see the 11 by 11 doesn't really quite fit in it, but it holds the threads well. So I will yeah, I was like, I guess I'll throw up a picture of the Astronomer just in case, because it doesn't look like anything yet. So this was my birthday start, and I started. And it is dark, and it is in the corner. I'm stitching this on 25 count gridded fabric, and I'm doing 1/1. There are 2 colors in there, you probably can't tell, but it's like a 3371 and 310 situation. And this was a birthday gift from a friend. This is from, hold on, I took notes here. This is from Snarky Crafter Designs, and it was a birthday gift from my friend. So obviously I have an orange cat, so she got me a little stitching assistant needle minder, and I love it so much. So I'm just happy that it started and that there's not too much confetti in this corner. So I put 6 stitches in this on my actual birthday, and then didn't really touch it until last weekend, and tried to throw in as much as I could between flights. So that we have begun the journey. We started, it's official. I have a Heaven and Earth designs on the go. So those were my 3 starts this month. And then I only had 1 whip, well, kind of 2, but I threw a few extra stitches in my Bird Crush Club, but I don't even think you could tell. I didn't even grab it, which is why I wanted to try to tear through them before this time of the month, because I was like, I'm not gonna have time. But I did bring on this last trip to Portland, since I had caught up on my Dark Queen of the Earth, this is back up, Meowster Mash Biscornu from Stitchy Prose. This was a expo release last year, another 805 stitcher bag. Very adorable. And I made good progress. So the last time I showed this, I think in my first video, I only had the little cat witch done, but now I have the little cave kitty done. I love how scraggly they are. Just like, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's like angry eyebrows. I can't. And then I have gotten some good progress in on Franken cat there. Yeah, and then we'll just have the vampire and the bottom. So again, I'm like hoping there will be trinkets for behind me, but yeah, this one is really, really cute. And hoping if I get this one done, I have the companion sort of Christmas winter themed one, and I would love to do that as well. So that is that. That is the whips. That is all of the cross stitch. So some dedicated love. I mean, there was a fair amount of stitches. There was like I think 2,600 stitches in that first Dark Queen drop, and there's over 2,000 stitches in the hands-on design costume party. So even though I feel like I didn't touch much, like progress was made. Progress was made. So yes, like I said, that is all of the whip starts and finishes in the cross stitch category. Next up, I have plans, but I might actually hold on to those until we go through haul, because I think a lot of it will be involved. So this is all of my cross stitch haul, and I will never financially recover from this. No, I'm just kidding. But I was so excited to go to in-person stores. I kind of let myself have a little bit of fun, and some of this is, and then I do have one or two birthday, well, mainly one birthday gift. So let's get into it. So like I said, my first stop in the month of September was the Golden Needle in San Marcos, and it was so fun. I dragged my partner and my friend that I was celebrating my birthday with there, and they just watched me go off. And it's also fun because this feels like I went so long ago already, even though it has not even been a month. It has not even been a month. So, the first thing I got, I was so excited that they stock these little, Sajou boxes. So this is the Poppy box. It'll focus, maybe, not sure. This is the Poppy box, and if you've not seen these before, I have done I did one last year that was an iris, and I am intrigued because I thought that maybe like the colors of the boxes would be different based on the flower, but apparently they are not, because this is the same as the iris one. So you get a little actual box that opens. I keep pins in my other one, and then this is part of the finishing. It's like the backing for the finishing. And then you get the pattern and the little piece of fabric, which I guess this is slightly different toned. The iris one was a little more like lilac color, and this one has a little more pink to it. You get the colors, the threads, which are Sajou threads, and a little like cotton wadding, again for the finishing, and the pattern. And I just think they're so darn cute. So I'm excited to do that. And like I said, this will probably come back up in the plan section, but for now, I purchased that, the Golden Needle. And then I got 3 pieces of fabric. So this was the first time I could get my hands on any fox and rabbit fabric. So I got 2 different colors, and both of them are 32 count linens. So this is baked clay. I know Michelle Bendy's calling for like a lot of designs on these, so I figured it'd be nice to have some on hand. And they're just, I mean, they're just great. She's not wrong that they're really wonderful neutrals. So this is baked clay. And then the other one I got was ballet slippers. And there is, I mean, I feel like these are showing up fairly true. There's a little bit of pink to it. That's it. I mean, you can see, but it's a peachy, it's a very mild peachy pink. So I really like that. So I got those. And then I thought I would try my hand. It seems like everybody is drifting towards these higher counts. And, you know, now that I put 6 stitches in, you know, a 25 count, I think I can handle anything. So I purchased my first 40 count. So this is a dyer I'm not familiar with, Atomic it says Atomic on here. Atomic dyers, Atomic, I might have to look that up and hopefully have it in the notes for you. But this is in the colorway Wild Mint. So at the Golden Needle, if you go, she just kind of keeps everything on like in yard measures until you request a cut. So I requested fat quarters. So in the store, she like cut and serged these for me, and then whatever kind of like offcuts are left, you can buy. So this was an offcut from something else. So sometimes, you know, you might get a little bit of a discount if something's like not quite a fat eighth or, you know, a fourth or whatever. It's kind of a funky cut. And then everything else I got was patterns. Oh, and I don't know if they're in here. Hold on. I just remembered something that might have been missed. Oh, darn it. Well, I'll go find it later and take a picture. But I did buy some little pins that I'm hoping to use on a Halloween pattern, but I won't bore you with the details because I don't have them on hand. So I got a couple of patterns. I got Lady Kathryn Kitty, Hello Goodbye from Summer House Stitchworks. So the cat themes just never end. What can I say? I'm easy to please. I thought that was really adorable, and obviously I'd have to do an orange conversion, but very cute. And then I got ink circles. I believe it's called Twice Cursed Doom and Gloom. And there's these circles in here which kind of confused me at first, but if you look closely at the finishing on here, they're kind of like cut in half and underneath, which is kind of cool. Definitely something different. And pillows are something I feel like I can accomplish. So I thought those were really cute. A little different. And then I also got, let me get these cards stored, the 2022 cross stitch Halloween edition, just because, you know, it was there. Why not pick it up? So got that. Very fun. So then we chilled for but a moment. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, sorry. Last thing. I bought scroll frames. So with the Dark Queen of the Earth, I know that there will most likely, well, there is beading. There will be a lot of extensive beading at the end. And, you know, I know my preference, which is Q-snaps, are not ideal if you're having to bead over a large area. So I thought I would give scroll rods a try. So I purchased these also from the Golden Needle. This is American Dreams, and this was her recommendation. So they actually use Velcro, which is really interesting. So it comes with like a roll of Velcro for you to apply to your fabric, and then you Velcro it onto the rod, tighten it up. So that seems really interesting to me. I just haven't, as you can see, I've not broken into it yet for the Dark Queen, just because I knew I was going to be traveling and I was going to take her with me. So I didn't want to have like loose Velcro attached. And I guess, you know, one of the cons to maybe this method is that she did mention that you can't really like you can't guarantee that you can get the sticky Velcro off of your fabric really well. So she said she just cuts it when she's done. So, you know, that's kind of something. If you're working on a project with tight margins, it seems like maybe this is not the scroll frame for you. But I'm excited to try it. And she said that I bought the 20-inch set, and she said a Lowry should be able to hold this. So I'll have to report back. But like I said, I'm not cracked into it just yet. Excellent. Okay. And then I went to Acorns and Threads in Portland, and I am so frustrated that I didn't realize that, you know, Pinwis, or the Pacific Northwest Stitcher Retreat or whatever, it was held between my last 2 trips. And I'm like, if I had known, I probably could have figured out staying in town to go to that. But, you know, I would have never even looked at, you know, like, why would I look at Acorns and Threads events? I live on the opposite coast. So frustrated. So it looked like everyone had a great time and I just missed them, but that's okay. That's okay. I still got to go and that's what matters. So, yes. So the first thing that I immediately was like, if they have this in stock, I'm going to get it, is some of the expo stuff. So I did get the Cottage Garden Threads Autumn Garden palette from Expo this year. So if you're unfamiliar, like I think 25 designers are working with these 4 colors. And so there are at least 25 patterns that have these exclusively as the called for colors. So that is pretty cool. And so I purchased 2 of them that they had there. So the first one I got is Bendy Stitchy Autumn Colors. And the text reads, autumn colors don't just fall, they fly. Love that. Love a bird. Love a cat. Love a bird. I'm pretty predictable. And then I also got, again from Stitchy Prose, I seem to really like their designs. The top pattern says gourd vibes only. And then the bottom one says shiitake happens. Love a pun. So really liked both of these, and those both use those threads. And then I just kind of went rogue. So I do not own any Blackbird designs, patterns, but I, you know, figured it was high time, and I'd kind of always had my eye on the Magical Mystery Tour series. I am still a big Beatles fan, but as a middle schooler and high schooler was like weirdly a large part of my identity. So I purchased the yellow submarine pattern. So cool. I've seen Little by Piku stitch this. It's great. I almost went back. So I went to Acorns and Threads my first week that I traveled there to Portland, of course. And the last week I was tempted to go and like kit this up there, which I may still like ultimately order the threads from them, but I didn't go back to kit it up. I knew it would be too dangerous. Too dangerous. I needed to be cut off. And then next up, I believe this is another Expo piece, but this is from Primrose Cottage Stitches, the Salem Sisters Apothecary. I like it. I like it a lot. What really sold me on this one is it says on the back that you can purchase this this frame. How cool would that look? There's something about, I don't know, Halloween patterns, even though I don't necessarily like, I wouldn't even say Halloween is my favorite holiday. I am more of a Christmas gal. I love Halloween patterns. They're just good. They're just good. So, you know, maybe this one would look good on one of the Fox and Rabbit ones, maybe. Yeah, very cool. Like this one a lot. And then last but not least, I had never heard of Just Nan before, but they had several kits, and like, shut up. Hold on. I'm gonna take this out of the plastic for you. I apologize, but you need to see this in its full glory, and it's kind of white on white. Look at the house. Look at the tiny mouse. What? This just looks like, I don't even know. I'm certain if I do ever stitch this that it will not come out this tidy. But there's like, yeah, the whole finishing pack. So all you need is the fabric and the threads. Everything else is provided. And there was another one, again, I was like, if I go back, I know I'm gonna buy this. There's another one where instead of it being like a fully enclosed house like this, it's kind of a tent on its side and it's open horizontally, and a little hedgehog goes in it. Are you kidding me? I had never seen this before. I don't know. Maybe this is lame, but I just simply could not resist, obviously. Okay, so that was Acorns and Threads. So the last thing I wanted to, oh no, I got two more things. So now I guess we're into sort of like gifts, Stitchy kindness, whatever. So my sister for my birthday purchased the Forbidden Fiber Co. Hocus Pocus box for me. So Hocus Pocus 2 premieres today, so I might have to get this out. I have to start this evening when I watch that. So this was the bag that came in the box, the nice little zipper pull with the little moon. And then basically what this box was like a kidded project. So, and again, I really think I'm doing something, and I'm a 40 count gal. Have I stitched on a 40 count yet? No. Keep the energy up. But we own more of it now. So this is Forbidden Fiber Co. in the colorway Sanderson Sisters. And it should tell you, it should really tell you something about this pattern, that this is a 1/4 yard of 40 count. I really love the color though. That's so good. So yeah, this is Newcastle linen 40 count. These are the threads. So I believe several of them are kind of in the main line. This one for sure is special. This is the Black Flame candle. A variegated grayish black. Very cool. And then like I said, I don't know if any of these other ones are specific to the box. I really like, there's a purple called Salem. That one's really good. And then of course this one is Pumpkin Spice, the orange. Amazing. So yeah, I don't think there was like necessarily a lot of fibers specific to the box, but obviously Black Flame candle is. And then I believe there was one of 3 needle minders you could get. So the one that I got, hopefully you can see, says it's the spell book, and it says just a bunch of Hocus Pocus. It's kind of etched in there. There you go. You can kind of see it with the light reflecting off it. But so yeah, there was apparently 2 other designs. This is kind of a large needle minder for me personally. I don't love when I feel like I have to kind of scrape the needle off, but it certainly goes with the project. And yeah, then the pièce de résistance, the moment you've been waiting for, the pattern. So this is called Life Potion by Leanne Ross of Forbidden Fiber Co. So it looks innocent, right? It looks innocent. That candle is not innocent. This candle is huge. It's humongous. And let's see, I will attempt to read this, but the image is kind of hard to read the green. So if you know the movie, feel free to chant along with me. But it says, bringeth to a full, it's either rousing or roiling bubble, then add 2 drops oil of boil and a dead man's toe. Next add a dab of newt saliva, dash of pox, stir thrice. One final thing and all is done. Add a piece of thine own tongue. Very cool, very cool. So like I said, I might have to start this while I watch the movie tonight. So thank you, sister, for my gift. And I love this bag. I'm gonna get so much use out of this bag. I like that it's kind of like distressed looking a little bit in the coloring. Very good. Very good. Okay. The last piece of cross stitch stuff I have to show you is a prize, Stitchy kindness, whatever you want to file it under. So Megan of the Seattle Stitcher held a giveaway for 2K on her channel, which is a fantastic achievement. And she had a very generous giveaway, and I was not expecting to win that. Wow. So I can't tell you how wonderful it was to come home after these 3 weeks back to back and all these flights and see a little Stitchy box just for me. So let's show it off. So first of all, she sent me a nice little note at the little pumpkins and some nice ephemera inside, which again, I am in desperate need of like little smalls to put in a journal, so I can use these kinds of things. But love it, love it, love it. Then she sent me 2 pieces of fabric. She surprised me with a second one. So again, apparently me, a 40 count stitcher, who knew? Oh, some trouble's coming. This is, I believe, Vintage Country Mocha from Zweigart in 40 count. And it's a pretty big piece. It's also, I think, maybe a fat quarter or so. So actually, ooh, you know what? This would probably be good for the Salem Sisters one, but this apothecary sign, but I need to make sure it would fit on that board. And the surprise one, look how orange that is. Oh my goodness. So this is, let's see, Jackson Fabric Arts. I am not familiar, but this is a 32 count linen, and I don't know if it has a colorway or if SOL is the colorway or Soul, not sure, but it is a mottled orange. Oh, it's showing up pretty cool. Look at that. It doesn't look quite as mottled. No, it looks about as mottled in person. Holy, I'm very dressed for the occasion. And this is also big. Megan. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. There's more. There's more. So generous. Then there were 2 patterns. So the first is from the Scarlet House, the floral motif sampler. Big. Big. This is 285 by 217. So cool. And then she also sent from Rosewood Manor a Tisket, a Tasket. I love the blues in this. Pretty cool. And then I like the statement on the back. It says, I was inspired to create this sampler while looking at antique samplers. I fell in love with the floss colors and decided to create my own. So there's a lot in here. And then I believe, yeah, there's like some little extra motifs on the back. So maybe if I'm not feeling quite up to this girl, I can, you know, do a little one of these, a little more manageable. And then last but not least, honestly, I was like kind of the most excited about this. This is like one of the driving reasons I was like, oh, I'll throw my name in. She sent a lap stand with a scroll frame. So I went from no scroll frames to 2 scroll frames. So I'm excited to kind of compare and contrast the difference. I did have to go back and watch her video to see how to like assemble this last night. But yeah, my first lap stand. And this one, it looks like you maybe kind of slip the fabric in between the notches, or she suggested like using your Q-snap clamps to hold fabric on. So yeah, very interesting. Also, does anyone else's cat chew like the oddest things? I've caught him multiple times already trying to chew the frame. Crazy man. Crazy man. Okay. Wow, I can't believe we kind of already knocked this out in 34 minutes. I'm pretty proud of myself. So that is all the cross stitch stuff I have to show for cross stitch plans. I have 2 sort of main plans. The first one is I want to get my act together and still participate in Season of Smalls this year, which is an event hosted by Jessie of Mislaid Pages. They held this event. I think they've held it a couple of years, but last year was my first time participating. And the gist of it is you stitch smalls. It's like a palette cleanser. People are ramping up for the holiday seasons. Just lots of gifts from here through, the new year. And kind of inspire you to like take a break, do a little small. And they have all the details on their website, which I'll include below, which is mislaidpages.com. But small is very subjective. You're not like locked into a certain size. If you're a very fast stitcher and 100 by 100 is small for you, you can enter it. But I think the recommended size is in the realm of like 60 by 60 or smaller. So last year I did the iris box, and this year I think I'm going to go ahead and enter the poppy box. Hopefully, last year the iris box was like a start and finish in a day. So hopefully the poppy box will be the same. And you just upload a picture to the Google form that they have, and you can enter to win prizes. And the other way you can win, which is actually how I won a prize last year, is you can contribute to another event that is going on that the Season of Smalls supports, which is the Marathon for Missing, Murdered, and Indigenous Women, Women, Girls, and Two Spirits. So the hashtag is Marathon for MMIWG2S. And it's a event again that I think this group of floss tubers have raised money a couple years in a row, but last year they specifically donated to the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native Women, and that's the group that they're supporting again this year, which is a group that does a lot of like advocacy and policy work, is my understanding, to bring awareness and bring real change to hopefully decrease the prevalence of these horrific atrocities that are happening to Indigenous people in North America, at least is where their work is focused. So, as we're getting into sort of the general winter season, I feel like there's a lot of, giving spirit that goes around. So that's a wonderful organization to send some money to. They have a pledge page that you can donate to, and so if you donate, that's another way you can enter into Season of Smalls. And so there are some prizes that are exclusively drawn from those who donate, and some prizes that are drawn just for the stitchers for Season of Smalls. So multiple ways to participate. If you cannot financially donate now, you can still participate with stitching, but always nice to spread the love when you can. And the other cause I wanted to just sort of throw out there, even though at the time I'm filming this, it's probably like too late for you to get in on this event, but there's another, I'm looking at my notes here, stitch along and sort of fundraising for the flooding that occurred in Pakistan. And they are doing hashtag Moon and Stars for PKSal, and that's hosted by Daybreak Stitchery and Marumi Crafts. And they are having if you donated and like sent to them, they're having an event tomorrow, Saturday, October 1st. But again, like I said, this is probably going up on Saturday, so it's probably not of any use to you. But again, 'tis the season of giving, and I always feel like it's worthwhile to share good organizations if you're looking to spread some charity around. So Marumi Crafts and Daybreak Stitchery have details of where to donate if you want to go visit their pages. Which brings me to the last, so like I said, I don't know if I'll be participating tomorrow because again, I am like a husk of a human being right now. But I do hope to just go ahead and send a little money towards that. And then finally, the last thing I'm hoping to participate in October is the 13 Stitches of Halloween event that is sort of hosted, sponsored, dreamt up by Athena of Stitching Goddess Designs. And she has a Flosstube as well. So and I also have the Black Needle Society planner. So I told myself I didn't need so many projects, but again, I just have a wealth of Halloween projects. So I think, you know, why not just kind of get them going? So if you're up for it, I'm going to run through the 13 stitches I have planned, and then we'll get on to the other crafts, of which there's basically just the knitting, but if you want to jump ahead, you can go see the knitting. Okay, so my 13 stitches, this is all totally subject to flux, and Athena herself has said, you know, it can be, the parameters up to you, right? We're all just trying to have fun. We just want to do stitching, so do what works for you. So it can be 13 new starts, 13 whips, you know, a mix. I'm going for a mix. I think a lot of people are going for a mix. And you can do, you know, 13 minutes a day, 13 hours. That would be a lot for 13 projects in a month, but, or, you know, 13 stitches or, you know, something like that. So I am maybe thinking I'll kind of do a little fudge and say my 13 is going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes, 1-3, on each of these projects, if I can even do that, like I said, because the first one I'm going to be sneaking in. So let's do it. Okay, so number 1 is going to be finishing the costume party. So I think, you know, that one's on lock. I don't think it's going to take me an hour and a half to just add in the gray here and add in the gray up here, but maybe it does. I'm going to hour and a half until I finish this one. So this will be stitch number 1. We'll start with the ones you've already seen. I'm not going to get them all back out, but then, yeah, number 2, Meowster Mash Biscornu. Again, an hour and a half should hopefully get the top of that Biscornu done. Number 3, I'm going to count my Dark Queen of the Earth. It says dark Halloween. So the next, the second pattern release will be tomorrow. So Dark Queen's on the to-do, so Dark Queen's gonna count. And also we'll see if I end up counting this one, but I sort of want to count my Heaven and Earth designs, because again, he's an astronomer, he's a wizard. Wizards are very Halloween-y, right? So we'll see. So those are kind of all sort of leaning on what I already have going on. So that's the first 4, potentially. Then number 5, and this is where I'm gonna start throwing pictures up, because if you can imagine, there's so much down here, is the Witch's Pantry patterns that I showed last time. This is from Hands On Design, the little jars, and that's where I bought the pins from the Golden Needle. I'll have to show you the next time. I don't know what I did with them, or they're probably in the bag with the pattern, but you know, I wanted to get the little bats, like are on the pattern, the little bat pins, but I couldn't find them, so I found some other Halloween themed pens, so I'm very excited about that. Then I also want to start Current Mood, which is an Autumn Lane Stitchery pattern, which again, I'm very predictable, I'm very basic, it's fine. I love my orange cat, you know? So obviously a Halloween themed pattern centered around a grumpy round orange cat just really hits it for me. So that's number 6. Number 7, I'm hoping to start one of the little hexes from Dee and Kari. They're a design duo team, and they have all of their patterns are pretty amazing. So I have the 3 little hexes, and again, so this is where there's so much in flux. Like maybe if I'm really enjoying the Witch's Pantry, you know, I'll count each jar as a start if I want to do a second one, if I even finish the first one. The little hexes, maybe I have so much fun I do, you know, one of those. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing is set in stone. So we have the little hexes. Number 8 is the Mill Hill Kit One-Eyed Jack, which I showed last time. And number 9, ooh, yeah, we'll see about this. We will see if I actually end up doing this. Where did I put things? I did go ahead and put the Salem Sisters as number 9, but I don't have, this is charted in weeks, which I'm not using, and then or DMC 310, but I feel like it'd be nice, there's got to be another nice kind of tonal black floss out there, so we'll see that one, we'll see if that one goes. Then yes, I had for number 10 the Hocus Pocus Life Potion, and number 11, I guess I will get all this back out for you. Number 11, maybe a Doom or Gloom start. Number 12, I do have in my stash Lindy Stitch's Purple Transport from last year, which is so fun, but I don't know if I have the fabric. It's a mess. And then lastly, for lucky number 13, I also included Dee and Kari's Hex Hotel, which is a big one. So I don't believe I would do Hex Hotel and the little hexes, but we'll see. And the reason why so much of this is in flux as well is because there's one other piece of mail that I got that I have not shared. So I also ordered, again, money is fake and I'm not responsible. Do not use this as financial advice. I also purchased the Fangirl Fibers 31 Hauntings in America box. So that came in. So there are 31 goodies in here. And I have them in order. They're all accounted for. And this is tomorrow's. Can't wait to start opening. It's Advent style. And my understanding is that there are 5 kits in here that are all obviously, you know, sort of spooky or Halloween oriented. So any of these things I just read out may be subbed for a kit in here, particularly because I don't have everything that I listed like exactly kitted. I have a lot of it kitted. Sorry, he just ran. But it is not all 100% kitted. So if anything in here strikes my fancy, that is subject to be substituted. But I'm very excited to open these. And on that note, I do have one more final cross stitch thing. I love when people do like Vlogoween or, you know, like sort of daily video updates. I love the concept of that, but realistically, like I said, I don't want to promise things that I can't deliver. So I think what I'm going to attempt is to do the style of I will film myself every day opening these, and then maybe at the end of the week sort of compile those clips if you're interested in seeing what is in the box. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that is that. Oh my gosh. See, look, we got up in the 40-minute mark. Anyway, it just keeps going. So that is all of the cross stitch haul that I have. I do not need to be buying anything for the next year. No, just kidding. The next while I am quite situated. This is a lot of stuff and I am very lucky to be able to spend so frivolously. But yes, okay, let's kick over to other crafts. So right off the top, I know I made a impassioned plea that I was going to plea to myself to finish the swimsuit that I wanted to make for my birthday. I'm gonna come out and tell you, it did not happen. I was able to get as far as sewing the lining together, and I mean, Helen's Closet patterns have just like such a wealth of information about fit and things like that. So I got that far. I kind of put it on, even though there wasn't elastic, so you know, it wasn't exactly a fit, and they kind of keyed you in on things to look for. And it's sort of was like everything that could have needed adjusting did need adjusting. Here. So there was a little bit of like under boob coming out. There was a little bit of like pooling in the back of the bottoms. It was just kind of not happening. And I think, you know, it was sort of, I don't think I had fully appreciated like how stretchy this fabric is. And I think a lot of swimsuits that you buy, particularly when you're like plus size, you know, it's like sucking you in, you know, it's like that power mesh. It's like, you know, and that is not the fabric that I bought. So kind of realizing like, oh, this is sort of it. And looking more closely at the pattern, I assumed that there would have been elastic around the torso. There's not supposed to be elastic. And so then I just got real nervous because I was like, I need to revisit this. It needs a little more length, and you know, maybe I do want to add elastic, but like, will that work? Do I need to change the size? You know, adjustments need to be made. That's okay. It's fine. It is sweater season now. Also, this is a podcast. I don't know if anyone's a big criminal podcast fan, but I am. We're in hoodie phase, even though it's not quite like cold yet, but I'm ready. Fall is here. Goodbye swimsuit. See you next year. So I did make an effort. I put it on and I just was like, there is way too much adjusting that needs to go on here for me to continue at this time. So I released the swimsuit. But to that, I did get started on my baby blanket for my cousins who are adopting. So this is the Stephen West Vertices Unite baby blanket, which I first saw X Stitch MD post about. Let me see, I want to make sure I show you like the right direction. It's pretty funky. It's pretty funky. But I've gotten a lot done. So here is where we are at. So the last section of the blanket, you can kind of see where the hole is. So there's going to be a big panel here, and then there will be one more panel on the right side. There's 8 panels total, and this is panel number 6 that I have completed. I just need to do one more row to close all my short rows, but it's a it's a color combination I went with here. So I knew the baby's nursery colors are like gray and teal, very 2010. So I wanted to have those colors, but not have it be, you know, I don't think they have a ton of accents. And I know that through talking with another cousin that one of the accents they chose was kind of a, you know, golden yellow pillow accents. So I kind of wanted to like get in the ballpark, but definitely have it be not teal and not gray. So there are 5 colors in this, and I will, attempt to show you. So in here you can see there's this like really pale gray and yellow, and then we have the olive, obviously, and the teal, and then the last color is the sort of more golden yellow, the little goldenrod yellow with the gray here. So everything is just kind of done in different combinations. So this big panel will be the golden yellow color, and then I don't remember exactly what 2 colors are on the end, but yeah, that'll be it. I think it's a very fun shape. You know, they're fun parents, so I hope they're fun parents. So I hope they like it. I was so nervous about picking the colors, and I just sort of like went with it. I will throw up, I had an inspo pic from the Stephen West website, but I did not purchase their yarn because number 1, it's super expensive, and number 2, the base that this was available in was not machine washable, and I feel like you can't make a baby blanket in a non-machine washable fabric. But I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun. Definitely learned some stuff. The way this is assembled is just very interesting. And all of these yarns, I'm sure you're interested, I went for a Cascade 220 Superwash. I feel like I've heard that that's I don't know much about yarn, okay? I just buy things that are pretty, but I did specifically look for something that was Superwash. So this is machine washable stuff. It's all just this big squishy garter stitch. And yeah, so I have the 2 panels and then the I-cord border. So you can see all these like red threads. These are the live edges that will get picked up by the border. So yeah, this was excellent. This was excellent plain activity. And this also was really great for the work we were doing. We were like out at a field. And so sometimes there was a good bit of downtime. So it was nice to work on this a little bit easier than having a whole knitting pattern out. So I'll show you the 4 colors I have in the bag. The other one is, again, over the sea of items around me. So yeah, here's the gray. I mean, I tried to do my best estimation to the original photo because, I'm just dealing with a different brand. And then these are the 2 yellows, the pale and the gold. And then the green, that's all that's left. And then, yeah, like I said, the teal. So I'm liking it. Something a little bit different. Yeah, I haven't knitted in a while, so satisfying to see this come together relatively fast. Because I think also, like for me personally, I think, oh, blanket, like it's gonna take forever and be so repetitive. So I really like that there's changes in this. Oh, and I should show off. This traveled with me in my Fangirl Fibers Boba Fett bag. There he is, knitting serenely. I actually didn't purchase the yarn box. I purchased the cross stitch box, but the image was still the same on the bag, which I love. Because I don't really have a lot of like knitting project bags, so this was a nice tote to carry all of that around in. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Pretty much plans are to finish that blanket up. And then I feel like I sort of want to keep having a knitting project. It's just kind of a nice breakup. So I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm going to maybe try to find some other knitting. So that is everything I had. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, I did want to shout out, since my last video, I've had like sweet shout outs from other people. So nice. Oh my gosh. So Bridget the Museum Stitcher shouted me out. Megan the Seattle Stitcher shouted me out, as well as I saw someone commented that they came from X's and Hoes, which is, first of all, an incredible name. I love it. I watched their one video. Unfortunately, again, it's like while I was traveling, so I just was like watching in the background, but just so sweet. Love their names. Also, yeah, I just want to say, they mentioned that it seemed like the vibes were good, and I would like to say similarly, the vibes are on point. So thank you for the shout out. And lastly, I saw the Tattooed Reading Owl shouted me out. So thank you so much. This has been fun. Like I said, I don't know why I feel that life often finds a way to just sort of pile on all together. I cannot describe, like I have really done almost no traveling since the pandemic hit. I've certainly not done travel for work. And then, I've only done sort of like personal travel. I haven't really taken any big vacations or anything like that. So to have all of this work travel back to back is like really wild. And I am really tired and I am very over it, but I have, like I said, one conference next week, and then I should be kind of good to go. But it is funny how, I was like, all right, I'm finally going to start a Flosstube, and for the first time I'm like busy in 2 years. So it's funny how these things work out, but it's okay. And, I think everyone is just here for fun and just here to share the love of the craft and all the crafts. And so thank you for sticking around if you're back. And thank you for giving me a shot if you're new. I don't want to overstate if I will be any more regular. Like I said, I think there's an appeal to doing it twice a month because then it feels like there's sort of less to maybe like gather at one point. Also, if I just stopped buying things, that would be less to gather. But what are you gonna do? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I think a month is about what I can manage. Like I said, for October, I'm gonna try to get weekly videos out of me opening these packages if that's something you're interested in. And yeah, go make sure you check out Season of Smalls with Mislaid Pages. Check out Marumi Crafts and Daybreak Stitchery for the Moon and Stars for PK Sal, and check out Stitching Goddess Designs for 13 Stitches of Halloween. Okay, I think those are my planned shout outs. And I think that's all I have for you. I hope everyone is also watching Hocus Pocus 2 this weekend, and I hope that everyone just has an amazing start to the month. Take care, everyone. Bye. I'm back quickly because someone decided to make an appearance after I stopped talking, and I know what the people want, okay? We know what the people want. I missed him so much. All right, thank you, Fuzz. Okay. Bye for real.